Serikali kuu imekuwa ikisupport members of parliament kuhakikisha ya kwamba pesa ya sitima imepeanwa. Na mimi kama mjumbe wa Githunguri, I can confirm mwaka uliopita nilipata 38 million shillings. Pesa ambayo nilikuwa nafaa niweke stima ya vichochoro, stima ya barabara na stima ya main roads ambapo watu wanapigwa geta. Lakini shida yetu kama Kiambu ni gavana wetu Wamatangi, na nataka kuongea ukweli, na hapa saa tukuja kumlima, lakini tunaongea ukweli. Hiyo pesa 38 million nikapigiwa simu, nikauliza sasa pesa yako unatakaje? Hawa makontrakta wanasema wakisipoweka stima kwako hiyo pesa itapotea. Nikawaambia nimewapatia ruhusa watafute kaunti ingine. Hao contractors walienda Murang'a, and I can confirm pesa yangu ilienda Murang'a, sio kwa sababu hiyo ni vita ya serikali kuu, hiyo ni vita ya our own county government. Why is Wamatangi frustrating the people of Kiambu? Kwa nini anazuia sisi tuende tutafute pesa ya mataa, na kwa nini anasema ataweka sola na haweki? Kwa hivyo saa hii tumediscuss hapa kwa budget appropriation, tukasema pesa ya kuweka mataa kwa vichochoro tumepitisha ni 50 million per constituency, ama sivyo? Tumepitisha ni 50 million per constituency. Tunataka kuweka governor wa Matagi on notice. Mimi nitaweka hiyo mataa, upende usipende, ujaribu kuja uzime.
Bas.
Hapo ndipo tutafikishana na yeye, kwa sababu hatuwezi kuwa tunapewa pesa ya watu wa Kiambu, mtu mmoja tu kwa county anakataa kazi ifanywe. Kwa hivyo sisi tumesema pesa ya electrification ya mitaa iwekwe, street lighting iwekwe. Wamatangi akijaribu tena kuzuia, sisi tutaweka na tutalinda hiyo mataa, na atalipa hiyo bill apende asipende. Kwa hivyo tumesema ile pesa ambayo tuliahidiwa sisi kama wakulima wa kahawa ya cherry fund ambayo inatumwa nusu nusu, tunataka iwekwe yote. Kwa hivyo tumesema kwa hii mwaka ya 2024-2025 budget allocation and appropriation, pesa ya cherry fund ya wakulima wa kahawa 6 billion iwekwe yote, tusiwekewe nusu.
Wetu kwa public participation ile wameongea very strongly ni kusema ya kwamba insecurity is very high huku kwetu Kiambu County kwa sababu ya giza. Na kwa budget tumekubaliana kila constituency iwekwe 50 million. Na hii 50 million tunataka kuambia governor, this time sio tafadhali, hapana. This time watu wanataka sitima na tutaweka stima. Leo siku ya leo na niwekwe kwa record ni maneno ya stima na maneno mpaka ya markets. Kwa sababu ya kupenda mvurutano, sisi kama wajumbe wa Muchomba kama saa hii soko yake imefanywa procurement, mpaka sasa wanaingia kwa award. Soko iende ikajengwe. Wa Muchomba riketi bunge akarobi for the money for the market. Lakini ikifika mashinani, governor anakimbia kutake ownership. Kwa nini? Yeye hajafanya yake. Sasa ile wajumbe wamechoka wakifanya, ndio nataka kama siku ya leo umeona tumekaa hapa kutoka asubuhi mpaka saa hizi. Robbing for money so that the national government can hear us. This was proper public participation. The voice of the people from Kiambu County has spoken. Wamesema ya kwamba wanataka masoko, wamesema ya kwamba wanataka stima, wamesema ya kwamba wanataka mabarabara. Na tumesema sisi wote kama watu wa Kiambu County, we don't start other projects before the projects that were started earlier are implemented fully. Hiyo tumesema. Akiwa ni mabarabara zote ziishe. Akiwa ni maneno ya maji, hiyo maneno yote iishe. Na tuko hapa siku ya leo kusema ya kwamba sisi hatuta rag behind ati kwa sababu ya name calling. Ati mnaamuka asubuhi na mapema, alisinganga this, alisinganga that. Pale tumefika siku hizi, hata ukiitana uitanie ukiwa umeangalia juu chini. Hii maneno ya kuambia governor, you are not doing us justice, tutaendelea kusema. And we are speaking for and on behalf of the people of Kiambu County. Ndio tulikuwa nao siku ya leo, the 12 constituencies were well represented today, and they have spoken very clearly and strongly. Ya kwamba achana na maneno ya stima, sisi tunataka kuweka street lighting. Ya pili, maneno ya barabara, sisi tunataka kumalizia mabarabara. Na wewe county government, wewe jenga zako. Maneno ya market, wewe Wamatangi, wewe wacha tu robi pesa, wewe kuja chukua kodi kutoka kwa market, wajumbe wakimaliza kujenga. No, our counties we have prisons, and these prisons are in town centers, and they have occupied a big chunk of acreage. And from what you have seen, our businessmen and women in town, they don't have a place to do their business or to conduct their business. Tunaomba ya kwamba hizi jera zote tutafute shamba moja kubwa kama wana Kiambu, jera zote pamoja tujenge tujengee hizi jela zote, ndio town centers za Kiambu, town centers za Ruiru, town centers za Thika na pahali popote ambapo kuna prisons zitolewe, zipatie wanabiashara wetu pahali pa kufanya biashara. That one, and you know, we as the members of parliament have approached PS Hinga na CS wake, na wamekubali tukipata that land where we can relocate these people, they are ready to build for us that prison so that our town centers can be left with space that we can conduct our businesses in those spaces.
We picked 5 issues. Issue number 1 that was a priority among many readers and also members of Kiambu County was on the completion of all stalled projects on roads. Not any other project, but mainly on roads. We have so much been affected by the budget cut, especially on areas to do with Mau Mau. We have another road that we are constructing in our constituency. The contractor is out of sight because of the pending bills. So they have said, let us prioritize our pending bill. The agenda number 2 was water. They said we have 2 dams that are to serve our county in terms of water. We have Loiro Dam 2. That if you remember, the president was talking about the contractor left the site. We received some funds from a French bank, and the president went ahead to make sure that that contract was terminated. So we are now pushing the government to make sure that now we get a new contractor so that that dam can start to be constructed so that it can serve Kiambu County, Kiambu constituency, Kiamba and Kabete. Also the Danida Dam, which we also understand it's on a higher gear, especially on issues to do with water. The other one was energy or electrification, and especially on issues of lighting our county and our constituency. We have received in the BPS, that is budget policy statement, that there is 50 million that we allocated for each and every constituency. So as our area of priorities, if you look at Kiamba, if you look at Kabete, if you look at Kiambu, if you look at Thika, they are modern, they are town centers. And we host a lot of people who works within Nairobi. So street lighting is key to my people as far as I'm concerned. Budget and allocate funds on the opinion that were made by the people who participated in the public participation. So people are very okay and they support the government, but they are saying there are areas there are areas that are underfunded and there are areas that we need to fund more so that at least they can feel the impact and probably the impact that money will have with our people. Public participation, we have timelines that are ongoing. Actually, we are supposed to end by Friday. The committee on the National Assembly, we have different departmental committees. They are also engaging different stakeholders in the Assembly. Today, from a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have those timelines so that now the budget committee can now listen to the chairs of those department committees and incorporate the views of all the public participation. We are supposed to end the public participation on Friday. Once we are able to do that, we now sit down and support, incorporate all those minds and now amend where we need to amend, reallocate where we need to reallocate, so that by the time the CS for Treasury is coming to the National Assembly to read the budget, we have already passed it, and now from there we can start now the other process of finance, it's called finance bill or something, to make sure how do we now fund that budget, because it is one thing to appropriate, it is one thing to plan, but it's another thing to fund the budget.
We must be able to deconstruct the way of how we do our public participation. We must be able to give people ample time. Like today we came here at about 8 and we started the presentation at about 11:30. And then by 1 they want to rush out. So the essence of public participation is to bring people and get their voices one by one. As much as you take a lot of time. Because this is a very important exercise. Like as much as what they are going to do out there, this is equally important. And therefore I would urge them, whatever they are being, the people who are being given proposals, either through emails or hard copy, they should be able to go one by one. Because Kenyans have spoken, and especially from Kiambu, I was here throughout, and I have heard what people are saying. There are very many issues that are actually going to affect this kind of a bill and the estimates. Because if you look at the macro environment, the one that we are living in currently, not many people will be able to afford the taxes. We have floods which have taken all the jobs. We are coming from COVID. We are having very many people who are not able to go to hospitals. People who are not able to go to hospitals because of the bills. Because if you look at the shift right now, the former NHIF, you look at the shift, whatever is happening is not very clear for the common mwananchi. So we have very many Kenyans who are actually sick, who should be able to contribute in terms of taxes, but then they are sick in bed, others are dead. And as I wind up, I would like to urge our registrators, let us take seriously the issue of public participation, because it is a very, very important part of registration, what they should be able to do, and whatever they say, it will be taken as gospel truth, and therefore it is very important they take the views of Kenyans and their people, because those are the people they represent. With the look of things, of course, there is money allocated for public participation, but if you look around at the people who are hanging around here, they're expecting one or two things, you know, the locals. And from the University of Nairobi, of course, as when we are working from the University of Nairobi, we will be paid from the University of Nairobi, and therefore I would like to urge them, when they are allocating for public participation, especially transport for women and men and people who would mean well. Of course, there are other people who will not need to be facilitated in any way. So in conclusion, I don't know how much it was allocated, but if you look around, you know, you don't need rocket science to actually know this was already budgeted for.